All right, well, let's move to play of the game. And I probably butchered Craig's rundown that he built for us for this season. So that's why we need you back, Craig, because, you're letting the inmate run the asylum here on Boilers in the Stands. But I know we have play of the game, and then we'll finish with game balls, and then we'll get on out of here. So I already said my play of the game. I'll say it again. I made Joe do the research mid-show, but with 5 minutes left in the game, it's only a 5-point game. Oakland is trading punches with the number one team in the country at their house in Mackey Arena. And Oscar Clough gets a huge rebound, and that's a huge momentum shift because he kicks out to a flaring, Fletcher Lawyer on the left side in front of that paint crew, and he knocks down a big-time three in motion to move the lead to 8. And so to me, that's that was the play of the game to me. That was kind of what kind of finally slammed the door shut and gave Purdue some room to breathe. So there's my play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is like probably the play of the game where it felt very much like that was the one that kind of not sealed the deal for sure, because I think even Oakland scored right after and cut it to 6, but that was the one where it's kind of like, okay, Purdue will be fine. I'll go a different route then. Just like the single most impressive play probably to me today was so Oakland was shooting that way, so that meant that was in the first half. I forget which half it was in. Clough is in this high. It's the first half. Clough was in this high hedge where there's a ball. Oakland's on offense, ball screen. Clough is in this high hedge where he's essentially to half court. Oakland moves the ball. They drive past the perimeter defense and are about to have a layup. And from half court, Clough makes this rotation and gets back and blocks the shot at the rim. And it was just like, oh, as somebody who I've been questioning some of the high hedge stuff that they've been doing, I at least like that's the type of play where it's very much like, oh, like he has that in him. A lot of bigs don't make that play. Like that's not a super normal play to recover from nearly, we'll say 40 feet away from the rim as a 7-footer and get back and still block the shot at the rim. So I'll call that one the play of the game for myself.
And he also had a big rebound in the second half at one point when it looked like it was going to come down to a guard having to try to get a rebound over a big, and Clough came over the backside and tipped it. And then it was able to Purdue was able to retrieve, and we both kind of looked at each other at that point and was like, because Clough was out at the top of the 3-point arc, and he could have just been a spectator on that play, but instead he inserted himself in the action, tipped the ball up. Purdue was able to retrieve it and go the other way. And I don't know if they made a bucket or not, but it was a big rebound. And I know Purdue's trying to find every way they can to rebound the basketball a little more. All right, well then game balls. I'll start with you, Joe. Since I went first, you get to go first on game balls.
The tough thing is there's like 4 players that I want to give it to. This felt like a more balanced game, but I mean, it's going to be Braden Smith. Like 20 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, a couple big time shots, goes 2 of 4 from 3, 8 of 15. Room to improve defensively, but obviously Purdue does not win this game without him, and he just impacted this game on such a high level. It was good to see him look like the best player in the country.
Yeah, and I don't agree with you guys. You guys kind of made this call without me, and I'm bringing my vote into this as well. And I don't think that we should be allowed to say the same person.
I agree with you, I think.
I don't think we should. We don't use the same – on Bears post-game shows, we're not allowed to say the same guy. So I don't know. I'm throwing my gauntlet down. I'm going to be a man, and I'm going to pick my own person. This isn't
we'll overrule Craig right now since he's not here. Since
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to go with
very important.
I'm going to go with Liam Murphy. I would go with Fletcher because of the big 3 to push it to 8. That was the play of the game. But to me, the more pivotal moment, because with 12 minutes left in this game, it was 65-64. And if I made Joe go back to the game log, which I don't have to make him do this, but Liam Murphy hits 2 threes in this game, and one of them was in that stretch of moment where they needed it just as much as they needed the Fletcher Lawyer 3 with 5 minutes ago. I see Jason Depew in the chat yelling Benter, and I get that. I could banter every game because of how much I'm loving this guy. But let's give a shout out to Liam Murphy because he hit a couple big time buckets. And there was also a moment that could have been the play of the game where he comes up behind and almost gets a behind the back steal. It ends up going out of bounds, but that was right when Murphy and Omer Meyer both dived on the floor at the same time. And, they couldn't get it, but you love the intensity and hustle there in that moment. They didn't back down to the fight that Oakland was bringing to them. So you got to give Oakland credit for the fight they showed tonight, but then I'm going to also turn that credit around for Purdue not embracing the fight in a game that maybe they felt like it shouldn't have been. So be it. They were in one, and I thought they responded to it well.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you picked him because I was almost going to let you go first, let you pick Braden, and then I was actually probably going to go Liam Murphy. I do have it pulled up. It was 56-55. Oakland had just drilled a three. Murphy comes down, hits a three, 59-55. I believe then he forces a travel in the post. Liam Murphy forces a travel when he's defending in the post, and then he comes down and drills another three. It's 62-55. You mentioned the loose ball kind of in there as well. So a very, very big stretch as well. So
you could argue I'm
glad you shouted out Liam.
You could argue that was just as big, if not a bigger moment than the Fletcher three with 5 minutes ago. They're pretty equal if you consider the clock. 100%. So shout out to Liam Murphy. This was probably his first moment here early on where he kind of showed Boilermaker fans what he's all about. So, all right, I think that's it. We've reached almost the 1 hour mark. Do you have anything else, Joe, before we get to moving on to Bama?
Yeah, I would say so. Be a fan however you want to be a fan. I don't. That's not our job on here to tell you how to be a fan, and everybody can go about this differently.
I'll do that with the left-right chance.
There you go. That one maybe is a little bit different, but I will say for me personally, I don't think this is game 2 of 31 regular season games and hopefully 6, 7, 8 more postseason games. A poor performance where they still win today does not mean that they are going to be bad. I don't think you have to give up on this team. If you want to, that's go for it. But where I'm at, it's there is a lot to improve for this team. This team is still one of the best teams in the country. Do I think they're the best team in the country? No, I didn't think that when they were ranked number 1 in the AP poll either. But there's a lot of things to do. This offense can be incredibly special. Painter, we know how good of a coach he is. This is game 2 where, their key defensive pieces, some of them are new in Clough and Jacobson. Guys are still trying to figure out some of their roles. Some obviously are very comfortable. So I guess just kind of my takeaway from this game is not that, Purdue is for sure bad. It's more of all right, they got things to do, but give me a team with Braden, Fletcher, and TKR with some good surrounding pieces, and I'm going to take them more often than not.
Very rarely is it ever as bad as it seems or ever as good as it seems. That's kind of how it goes with sports. And I'll remind people that last year at this time, we were questioning how good our Purdue Boilermakers could be. And then they played Alabama at Mackey Arena and won a big-time game at home that I think a lot of people thought they weren't going to win. And C.J. Cox kind of had his coming-out party in that moment, and that was kind of their first moment without Zach Edey to win a big-time basketball game on their own terms. And so now you fast-forward a year, we're going to Alabama's house, and maybe there's some doubt, creeping in your mind. But if you doubt Matt Painter and this program, you really haven't watched this team over the last 5 to 10 years because this is how they build. And by the time we get to March, I have no doubt that they'll be every bit the team we've seen the last couple of years in March, and that's fighting for a Final Four and a national championship.